Well, and so here again, it's been the local constitutional coop in San Francisco, and this is going to be an important video because what I'm looking to do here is hold on a sec, is to set up the ability to do my videos on United States history, and I have 230 years of acapella expert witness testimony on all of that. I don't know everything, no one does, but I know a hell of a lot more than my share, none of which your children or grandchildren are going to see anywhere in the mandatory public education system. So I'm looking for some serious investment capital and for other reasons than justice, but this is an important one to help me get videos out that I can talk just like I'm talking now, as plain as day to your children and explain the real facts of history, especially with regard to the history of America involved in wars, going back to at least the war between the states. And you find out, wow, this stuff. And I've got the dead bang provable evidence here, chapter and verse. You'll learn all about that. Send me an email, uwinnincourt@gmail.com. And if we can work together and do that and work together in some other areas, I mean, the knowledge I have and been blessed with from the man upstairs is priceless. You can't put a price on it, and it's more than memory. And a key word, perspective. Once you get the right one, and I was at the leader of the pack back in the day, coming out of high school, 19 years old. What did I do? Volunteer into the Marine Corps at the height of the Tet Offensive in the Vietnam War. Luckily, my mom put a curse on the Marines and said, "You're not going to get them." And sure enough, they took me over, mom and dad, one of the few times I saw them later after we divorced together, and dropped me at Fort Hollow Road in Baltimore on the way to Terrace Island. I never made it. Sergeant looked up at me and took one look. "If you lose your glasses, how will you know who to shoot?" Today, I know the right answer. No problem. Give me an M16, point me back down, south to Washington, D.C., the White House, landslide, Lyndon Johnson. I'll take care of it. And what this bastard did the first day after Kennedy was assassinated, business day anyway, was to reverse his executive order taking us out of Vietnam and putting us back into it. So, people that view my videos, hopefully your children and grandchildren will learn a hell of a lot more about the truth of American history than they're going to see anywhere. And this has been true for at least 120 odd years. I mean, even going back that far to the late 19th century, there was a massive cover up beginning with the New York banksters and all the people that they controlled. But there are others who wrote the truth and whose works I have, whose books I have, and I can prove every bit of it. And that's what beats the bastards, and that's what's going to get us big paydays in their cases. Because if we have to file a claim, and it may even look like a civil rights claim, they can't roll the loaded dice because we're the ones that have them now. And you get me in there educating the jury, which I can do off the top of my head a cappella. And for example, in my Iowa case, among other things, I have a 42-page motion to dismiss that we put in there. And the friendly local dumbass there put in 2 pages, 1 paragraph, specious, frivolous, and without merit. And the judge, quote unquote, ruled in his favor. And in the same case, I did a 55-page writ of habeas corpus to the federal district court that involves lots of acts of treason by the clerk and the judge, as you'll learn later. And that didn't work either, because all they recognize are pro se litigants, 14th Amendment citizens who are incompetent, or their state bar licensed attorneys, all of whom have irreconcilable conflicts of interest with rights secured by all 6 articles of the Constitution, since what they're put there to do, is act as unregistered foreign agents of at least the city of London and keep these civil law accusatorial courts in place, not the common law adversarial courts we're supposed to have. It's a big fight, people, but we can win it, especially with the justices on the Supreme Court right now who know this. And I can talk to the people at the other side at the settlement table, get your checkbook out. Because what I'm going to tell you here, I'm going to tell a jury, and you can't have that happen because with corporate landlords and corporate anybody else, among other things, we can put your ass out of business. And or with landlords in particular, get a discovery list and get all kinds of people they've evicted over the last 20 or 25 years for a class action suit to do the same thing. That's the power we're supposed to have. It's exciting. That's why at the age 75, my life is still ahead of me, and I want to do the same thing for you. Send me an email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com. Remember to subscribe, like the videos, tell your friends, get the word out. Thank you.